Peace. Black Americans don't owe anybody, anywhere, anything. Absolutely nothing. More specifically speaking, to those of you who do feel that African Americans owe you. Black Americans owe y'all a grand total of nada.
What did Black people in America do to deserve this level of hatred and disdain? Most of us, our ancestors, we started coming here in the year 1619. We've never started a war with you.
Blacks as a group, we owe nothing, just as no group is owed anything, nor is any individual owed anything simply by being part of a group.
Hello good people, welcome to African Commentary. Here we learn and grow every day, and if you're new here, kindly consider subscribing, liking and sharing the videos. I will really appreciate. And in today's video we are going to speak about Black Americans. Yeah, you guys said that we shouldn't call you African Americans, so I'm going to stick to Black Americans. And I don't know why the whole world feels like Black Americans owe them something. Every other time I scroll through TikTok, it's always Black Americans this, Black Americans that. And that actually needs to come to an end. So before I speak much, let's watch some videos and then I'm going to give my 2 cents at the end. Also, let me know what do you think about this in the comment section down below.
Peace. Black Americans don't owe anybody, anywhere, anything. Absolutely nothing. More specifically speaking, to those of you who do feel that African Americans owe you. Black Americans owe y'all a grand total of nada. Nothing. Zilch. Bupkis. Now, check your heart rate. How's that feel? How does it feel to hear that Black Americans don't owe you anything? Does it make you feel provoked? Do you feel like maybe you need to add a little bit of historical context or check or correct me? And can you sit comfortably with that? Or do you feel some type of way? Does it feel divisive to hear that Black Americans don't owe you anything? Do you feel the need to lean in right now? Or you good? You good? Because depending on how you feel hearing that Black Americans don't owe you anything will determine whether your contribution to Black Americans is real or imagined. Because recently in my comments, as we've been talking about a time like this and the pressure being applied by others on Black people to get up and get involved as if we hadn't been up and involved all along. Other historically oppressed people feel the need to slide up in our comments and remind us of what we owe them. You say things like, remember that Mexico banned slavery before the United States did. But what you don't say is, more specifically, it was Vincent Guerrero. Okay, just imagine I'm saying Vicente Guerrero every time you hear me say Vincent. My bad. Who banned slavery before the United States did. What you don't mention is Vincent Guerrero was Afro-Mexican on his father's side. And what you don't say is the thanks that Vincent Guerrero got for banning slavery in Mexico was stabbed in the back, executed, put to death, and racism against Afro-Mexican persisted in the Mexican territory despite the abolition of slavery. That's the part you didn't mention. Indigenous people say things like, you came first, that genocide is worse than chattel slavery. But the part you don't mention is some nations of indigenous folk participated in the chattel slavery of Africans at a higher rate than white Americans. What you don't mention is that on the Trail of Tears, Black enslaved people died at a higher rate than the indigenous people on the trail, because those Black enslaved people had to bear the brunt of servitude to their indigenous slavers on the trail. And that when they got to where they were going out west, those indigenous nations refused to emancipate the enslaved Black folk that got them there, until the United States government struck a deal for those people to be set free, at which point these indigenous nations cast these Black folk out into the wild without a nation at all, scrubbed them from the scrolls, and denied acknowledgement of their descendants henceforth and forevermore. Then mocked them as pretendians if they tried to reconnect those past ancestral connections to the tribe that enslaved their ancestors. Black passing indigenous people are treated very differently than white passing indigenous people, despite the $5 Indian phenomenon that primarily benefited white people. I've even heard some continental Africans and Caribbean people say that Black Americans owe them in some capacity, that the Haitian Revolution hastened the emancipation of enslaved people in the Americas by pressing the Louisiana Purchase, except that the Gullah Wars existed in the United States long before the Haitian Revolution even began and continued to decades after. And revolutionaries such as John Horse with the Seminole tribe had fought the United States Army to a standstill for their liberation. What you don't mention is how some of the Haitian mulatto class came to the States and became enslavers themselves, and eventually crossed over to passing for white. I could go on. Black Americans don't owe any of you, anyone for that matter, anything. Even if you did something for us, many of those of you, like the Irish, who did do something with us, also did something to us. We don't owe you anything. If you do feel like we owe you, that's because your motives were not altruistic. They were opportunistic. They were transactional. It was a quid pro quo. I am currently using a Palestine drink can as a mic holder. You might have seen me do some spots for Palestine Soda. I do not have a paid sponsorship with Palestine Soda. I am currently wearing a keffiyeh in solidarity with the Palestinian plight, a plight that I've been in solidarity with since I was a child. And the Palestinian people don't owe me anything. Absolutely zero. I am not a technophile who keeps up with the latest techie stuff. I buy secondhand electronics for the purpose of harm reduction in the Congo. And the Congolese people owe me absolutely nothing. Of all the people that I've done anything for, nobody owes me a thing. I remember once giving skate lessons to some children in a park, and one particular kid that I was giving lessons to, his jealous, abusive father came out there, saw me giving him lessons, and immediately accosted his mom. At which point I stepped forward to offer him a few skateboard lessons, except the skateboard wasn't going to go under his feet. Fast forward to the following week, that same mother and son came out to the park where I was giving skate lessons to kids, and she was grateful. You know what I didn't do? Sup, shorty? Imagine what kind of creep I would have been if I had tried to leverage her gratefulness and my contribution to her safety for my own gain. If you think Black Americans owe you anything for anything you have done for us, y'all some creeps. Black Americans have had more done to us than for us by anyone else, bar none. So if you are trying to leverage whatever it is you have done for us for love and deference as a debt, you a creep. You know how many times I've seen my father and his friends do things for one another, even neighbors, people that they didn't know, and say, nah, you don't owe me nothing. You done sat up underneath the hood with my dad all night long with one light bulb working on his truck and nothing but a plate from my mama the whole time to tie you over at dinner time. And when you were done, my daddy didn't owe you nothing. That is friendship. That is solidarity. That is the love that you are trying to leverage, but you do not deserve. One more time, Black America don't owe you.
What did Black people in America do to deserve this level of hatred and disdain? Most of us, our ancestors, we started coming here in the year 1619. We've never started a war with you. We've never tried to take the country away. We've never undermined the country. So my question here in America, what did Black people do to deserve this level of ongoing hatred and disdain? That is my question, America. Thank you.
Blacks as a group, we owe nothing, just as no group is owed anything, nor is any individual owed anything simply by being part of a group.
Black people have built this country. The country was built off the backs of slaves, bro.
Right.
And he knows that.
100%.
And to say that you don't owe nobody anything is, I mean, that's showing his true colors and how he actually feels about black people. That is wild.
And Black people could absolutely be anti-ICE and also not put their lives on the line. Hi, my name is Kiera. I live in Memphis, Tennessee, where ICE has been here for about 5 months. I am absolutely anti-ICE, but I would never, ever, ever expect other Black people, or never would I as a fucking Black person, put myself on the front lines when it comes to ICE. This is y'all's white friends fight. They did this. That's who y'all should be expecting to put their lives on the line and stand on the front line. I am bringing awareness of ICE because I am anti-ICE and I don't believe in anything that ICE is doing. Because I do absolutely care about the immigrants, but not even just immigrants, the regular ass people that live here in Memphis. For those of you that are saying like, oh, black people aren't doing enough, this is y'all's fight too, it's not. Having black people support this is absolutely a luxury for y'all. And I don't want to hear anything about like, oh, y'all don't know how many people fought in the civil rights movement, whatever. Black people were fighting before the civil rights movement. We're still fighting now. We still have our own battles and fires to put out. While majority of us do absolutely care about what's going on with ICE and immigrants and just people who aren't even immigrants that fucking live here, expecting black people to put themselves in danger to attempt to stop an ICE agent, it's absolutely asinine. They will kill us right there. They've been doing it for years. Again, I'm anti-ICE, but I will absolutely not be putting my life on the line, nor should y'all ever expect other black people to. We're doing what we can while we can. Please stop telling black people this is their fight too.
Just for the record, black people don't owe anybody shit. Don't look for us to help, because we not. We ain't coming. We got you in this country to thrive. It's up to you to survive.
Hey y'all, do me a favor. Let's stop explaining to white people why we shouldn't have empathy, or why we don't, or what empathy is. They don't care, okay? And they probably don't get it. They're not really empathetic people. So let's use the energy in other places. We don't have it, and that's fine. There's no explanation that's necessary. They will spin it to say, oh, you're happy about it, blah, blah, blah. And even if you are, that is also fine. Your feelings on the matter are valid. They don't have to be in alignment with theirs or anybody who supports him. And it's okay. It's fine. You don't have to have empathy. Nobody says you do. Stop explaining that shit to them.
Black Americans don't owe anyone anything, not even America. I believe that the only people who are supposed to ask for something from Black Americans is their ancestors. And we all know the reason as to why, because the ancestors fought really hard for their people, for their children, for their grandchildren who are modern day Black Americans. Another kind of people that can ask for something or anything from Black Americans are their descendants. Let me say their children, their grandchildren. These are people who will come after and they will ask, what were our grandfathers, our grandmothers, what were they doing? What was happening? I believe that those are the only people that need to ask Black Americans for anything. But for these other people, for these other continents, for these other, I don't know. It's so much. A lot is expected from Black Americans, but a lot is not given to them. They're fighting their own fights. They're minding their own business. They're just doing their own things. But it's like they need to be doing something else. It's like something is missing. First of all, America owes Black Americans a big chunk, or let me say it owes them a lot. From reparations, which you just said it's a bare minimum, which they have never received, to peace of mind, to a safe environment for Black Americans. There is so much that America really needs to provide for Black Americans. It's not the other way around. Not Americans need to provide for America, because these people have built this country. America would not be where it is right now without Black Americans. And this is something that they don't talk much about. They don't like talking about it because it is the truth. Black Americans' ancestors have spent a lot, much of their effort, their time, their sweat, even their blood to build that nation, which is right now, it might be crumbling because of their bad leadership. But this is also not Black Americans' fault. This is other people's fault, the white people's fault, the Hispanics' fault, the Mexicans' fault, which this is also not talked much about. I don't know why Black Americans need to be defending themselves every other time. They need to be speaking up every other time. When something is happening, they're being mentioned everywhere. When people are protesting, Black Americans are mentioned. When ICE is doing all the evil things they're doing, Black Americans are mentioned. Like, when will Black Americans rest? I believe it's high time these people need to rest. It's high time Black Americans need to just sit comfortably, live comfortably in America, mind their own businesses. They have a lot. I believe they're also human like us. They have their families who are looking up to them. They have this and that. They have their own personal issues. But they're still dragged into everything that is happening around. They're still dragged into things that do not even concern them. They are always expected to be fighting for another community. They are always expected to be talking about something. When will Black Americans rest? I'm not even a Black American, but I feel the burden. It's like I'm one of you guys, but I am not. So what about you guys? How do you feel? Like, every other time you go through TikTok, there is always something. There is always a fight between Black Americans and what? Black Americans, and it's always noisy, chaos. It's so rare to just find beautiful videos whereby even people are just praising Black Americans. Yeah, people are just always making a lot of noise when it comes to Black Americans. It's always about this and that. It's always about where are you from. It's always about you don't have a culture. It's always about you need to protest against ICE. It's always about you'll be deported. Like, nothing positive. Every day it's always about negativity. But you know what? Black Americans are resilient. As I said in my previous videos, that Black Americans are resilient. They have gone through a lot. Even this, whatever is happening right now, is just something little to them, and they will overcome. All this will come to an end. I believe that no season has no end. Everything comes to an end, whether we like it or not. So Black Americans continue to soldier on, continue having that resilience, and continue working hard. I believe that you're making major moves that America didn't expect, that people didn't expect in America. But do what pays you, do what feeds your family, do what makes you secure and all that. So guys, let me know your thoughts about this. For Black Americans, I believe there is a time that will come that people will be speaking positive things, at least, not everyday negativity. We are tired of the negativity. We need to hear positive things about Black Americans. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comment section down below. Don't forget to subscribe, share, comment, and I will really appreciate. Let's meet in the next video. Bye guys.